Hey everybody, I just wanted to do a little video. I'm having quite a few of you message me and you're wondering about when people have objections and how you need to handle them. And I know at the beginning I had the same exact questions, the same exact fears, and I would be lying if sometimes I said that I still don't. It's hard to step outside your comfort zones, and it's hard when people don't share the same passions as you. But there's a lot that goes into it, and it's not something that you need to be shying away from. You found something that you love and that you believe in, or you wouldn't be here watching this video. So don't let those objections stop you. You just need to learn how to handle them and face them head on instead of shying away from them. So I just wanted to go through a couple of things with you and how to handle them with confidence, because that's super, super important. First thing that I want you guys to realize is that when people are talking to you about things, that this journey then becomes not about you as much. It becomes about them. They're going to have questions. They're going to have objections. They're going to have things that they want to know too. And you need to put yourself back in that first step when you started your journey with Plexus. If I think about the beginning of mine, I didn't just jump on board right away. I wasn't making videos right away. I wasn't talking to people out in public right away. I definitely wasn't cold messaging people randomly to share things with them, because I had those insecurities. I had my own set of objections, and I had things that people needed to answer for me. So take a step back and remember when you first started your journey too, because you very much probably had those same things. It's really easy for us once we find something that we love to want everyone else to love it too. Once I started feeling amazing, I wanted everybody to feel it. That's why I started sharing. So sometimes it's easy for us to think that, oh, you just need to jump on board with this because you're going to feel amazing too. But not everybody sees that journey that we've been on and how we got to that place. So try to step back, make sure that you're really listening to them. Validate their thoughts and their reasons why they might not want to be on this journey right away. This isn't about you, it's about them. So make sure that they're doing 80% of the talking and sharing and you're doing 20%. Validate what they have to say. If they have a question, don't say, oh, that's crazy. Because it's not. It's something that they're feeling. So if they know that they're valued in this and you're really taking what they're thinking and listening to them and then coming back at them with something, it's going to go much, much better. If you have an objection about something, you don't want somebody to be like, oh, well, that's just not the way that it is, because it doesn't explain anything to you. So make sure that you're doing the same thing with other people. Something that one of the top diamond jewels in our company came up with, this is this Plexus Shield of Confidence. And this is something that so many of you already use when you're talking to people about Plexus, and you might not even realize it. But I just wanted to go through it because it's an amazing, amazing way when people have questions for us that we can go through the steps with them. And this shield, just like when you're in battle, is something that you can use to protect our integrity and protect what we are trying to tell people. We have an amazing company, we have amazing products, but sometimes people have those objections, and we just need to be able to tell them why it works so much and have real reasons behind it. So the first thing, it's too expensive. I have so many people tell me that, and I was the same way. So if I step back and think about the beginning of my journey, mom of three, we are living on one salary pretty much once I quit my teaching job. So expenses are a huge part of everyday life. Money does not grow on trees. We all know that. So to jump into something at the beginning and somebody comes up and says, hey, that triplex pack, it's $125. If you're buying it as preferred and you can sign up and you can get it every month, it's so overwhelming to people. So when they say that it's expensive, don't just be like, oh, no, it's not. Because it is. It's expensive to a lot of people at the beginning. So they need to hear how it worked for us. I always start out with saying I thought the exact same way. I felt like it was really expensive. And I felt like it was one more thing that we were adding in, and I didn't know if it was something that we could do for a family of 5. So when we started, I started small. I started with the probiotic and I started with the cleanse. And once I started with those things, I was able to see how many things I ended up cutting out for us. I wasn't binge eating marshmallows every single night. When I went out to eat, I wasn't ordering a tea. I was ordering water when I went to our local bakery shop. Things like that that I was having every single day that end up being small when you're purchasing them, but end up being big at the end. Things that people do every day, and I'm not saying that you need to say this right out loud because you don't want it to be offensive, but going to get your hair done, your nails done, those are things that make us feel good, but this is something that can make us feel amazing. It's something that starts on the inside. So if they don't have $125 to start on that triplex pack, don't push the triplex pack. Start something that's really small for them. When people say that it's expensive, they also want to be able to try things. And that's where that 60-day back money guarantee is so huge, because it's big. Not a lot of companies offer a 60-day back money guarantee. If I think of my medicine cabinet and I think of how many different things we tried with our family to get to where we are now, I have a whole closet filled with bins of medicines and creams and lotions and different supplements that we tried, and they're just sitting there until I cleaned out my closet a couple weeks ago because I paid money for them and I didn't want to just throw them away. So with this one, you don't have to just throw them away. You call the company, you get 60-day back money guarantee, and it's nice for people to know that it's a revolving 60 days. So it's not that you are going to try it for 60 days, you have 60 days from start to finish. If you do it for 6 months and you figure out that it's something that you want to stop, you can still get the last 60 days back. If you try the triplex and you love it and then you add in the block and you're not such a fan of the block, you can send just the block back. So it's not just product specific for everything that's in your order, which is an amazing thing. And I think that that speaks to the company. Now they're sending out 23,000 orders a day, customer service told me last week, which is huge for a company. And we're going to talk more about the growth later, but they're getting a 1% return rate right now. I don't think that any other company, if they offered a return rate, could really say something like that. So if people are telling you that it's expensive, listen to them. Don't just say, oh, well, that's why I signed up wholesale and now I'm earning money back. That's something that's amazing. And if somebody's into the business side of it, then that's perfect. But that's overwhelming to people at first. So start small, see what works for them, and then build up from there. If they try the probiotic and the BioCleanse 1 month and they love it, then they have another in to be able to offer something else to them. And then you can offer them with a wholesale. And some people jump right in with wholesale right away. But if people are telling you that it's expensive, listen to them and validate what they're thinking. Because for a lot of people, it is expensive in the sense that it's just one more thing that they're adding into their already busy routines and already busy checkbook life. So just listen when they're telling you that it's expensive and validate it. The next thing, scientific evidence, which was huge for me. I want to know what's going into my body. I want to know what I'm going to give to my kids. I researched everything. Some people are not going to be like that, and that's okay. But you need to know that there are scientific evidence. Just because we are not backed by the FDA and we haven't had all of the rigorous testing doesn't mean that the ingredients in our products haven't had testing. So you can find studies, and I looked up a lot of that stuff. So with the probiotic, I put the label up for that. Know that it's important because grapeseed extract is an antioxidant. That's been proven. Know that the probiotics are good for you. They've done studies on probiotics. Know that the digestive enzymes are good, that the chitneys is good. You can break it down and you can find scientific evidence for the ingredients. If people are asking you, send them that whole packet. I have it in the links. I can post it to you. I have it in the email that I send to everybody. That scientific evidence is huge for those ingredients. So if you want to have them take it to their doctor, if they want to take it to their doctor and have it approved, they can take that whole packet and say, this is a list of every single ingredient that's in this, and I want you to look at it, and I want you to tell me that it's okay. If that's what they need, then let them do that and send that evidence right to them. You do not have to spend hours and hours and hours researching every single thing. So when people ask you questions, you know about it. If you want to, that's great. But you always have that backup that you can send that to them and they'll be able to do it for themselves. Empower people to know that they have that option. We are not trying to hide anything from them. And I guarantee you that once they do a little bit of the research on their own, they're going to be more apt to do it too. And the other thing with that scientific evidence is know a little bit about each product. You don't have to, like I said, spend hours researching every single product, but have a blurb for each one. So if somebody asks you about the ProBio 5, tell them it has an antifungal, it has digestive enzymes, it also has that probiotic that we need that's so important, and it has grapeseed extract that's a great antioxidant. Have a blurb for each product. The BioCleanse, super, super amazing for being a gentle cleanse and getting all that excess bacteria out of our gut. It's also amazing for magnesium. 300 of our body processes run on magnesium. Know that that's so important and so many people are deficient. 1 gram of sugar takes 54 grams of magnesium to digest. So it's something that we all need. And it also puts oxygen back into our body, which is crucial for our cells to be able to operate the way that they need to. The Slim, it's got chromium in it, balances your blood sugar, goes in and it gets those fat lipids and it turns them straight from protein, or straight from lipids to protein and energy. It's really important that people know that. The X Factor. I always catch people with it's that multivitamin that I take and I don't look like I have just been making out with Superman because all that stuff is being digested into your body. A lot of us have taken those vitamins and you take them and after you go to the bathroom, it's like neon coming out of you. It's because that stuff isn't being absorbed. And know your audience. You might not want to tell everybody that, but that the aloe that's in that is super, super important. It helps absorption up to 300%. So just that little line, anybody that's taken a multivitamin knows how important that is. The Accelerator. You want to know that that's a boost for weight loss and that you either pick the Accelerator or you pick the Boost. The Boost is a thermogenic, so it's going to raise your body temperature. That is not okay for people that are pregnant, nursing, or may have heart issues. So you want to know that. The Triplex is approved for pregnancies, but also you want to tell people that they can take that to their doctors as well as the multivitamin. Block is amazing for blocking all those starches and sugars. You want to take it before your biggest meal, or you can take 2 of them, one before one meal, one before another meal. But it's great because it doesn't actually let our body absorb all of those things. Body cream, great for that spirulina algae, and it's got activated charcoal in it. The Ease has been formulated. They base this on a lady that went in and did tons of studies on nerves and how the regrowth of nerves start, and they put those ingredients right in our nerve. The Ease, I missed that one. You want to know that people with shellfish allergies should not be taking that because it is made from a mussel, but that you can get it either in a cream or in a capsule, and it's amazing for all of those everyday joints and aches and pains that we get from working so hard. So if you watch this 100 times, if you need me to go over that stuff with you, I will. Get out your little cards and just practice so you have one little sentence. When people ask you about a product, you don't want to be a deer in headlights. You want to be able to tell them, even if it's not something that you use every single day. I don't use the Nerve or the Ease, and I don't use the Block every single day, but it's something that I could talk about if people wanted to talk about it. So that scientific evidence is really big for people. They want to know not just that it works, but they want to know why it works too. Something that is huge for our company is that we are not ads on TV. We don't have to pay celebrities to advertise things. We don't pay them millions and millions of dollars. We're real people. We have real stories, and they want to know that. So always share your story with people. It doesn't have to be that you're spewing it at the mouth, which is something that I've had to really learn because our family has been helped in so many ways with these products. But I don't have to tell every single part of every single story to every single person. So somebody that doesn't have allergies might not want to know about rye and how much her allergies have been affected. Somebody that doesn't have autoimmune disorders might not want to know that I can get up and walk in the morning and I don't have any problems anymore. With celiac disease, you know, I have that story with mine that I can eat gluten again thanks to these products. Know other people's stories too. Just because somebody knows you and that it's working for you, you don't want to keep your stories all about you. if somebody's interested in the business side, telling them that Erin from our upline was able to quit her job and move to Oklahoma and is doing Plexus full time. We have tons of stories in our group. So reach out to people. If you type in Plexus testimonials on Google, you're going to find 1,000 of them. So find things that relate to people and be able to use those as backups. We have people on our team that have been helped with Crohn's, with IBS, with migraines, hormone issues, weight loss, anxiety medicines. There's so many stories out there. So use one of your stories and then somehow bring in 2 other people's stories. And if they have something that maybe you don't have a personal testimony with, you can tell them that. If you want to type it in, leaky gut and Plexus and whatever your issue is, so many things are going to come up. So know the stories, know how to relate to people because they want to know about the real things. So that's super important too. And we always have that in our backup to be able to use. The other thing is that our growth in our company has been amazing. Growth from companies does not happen when the products doesn't work. And I know that that is something that is kind of silly to say because it's obvious, but people don't know the growth behind this company. 16,000%, and as a math person, I just think that that's crazy. 16,000% in 2 years, which is phenomenal. There's so many accolades that you can find, even though I don't really think of our company as just a weight loss company, and I don't tell people that it's all about weight loss because I think that it's about whole body health that contributes to weight loss. But we were number 2 in Shape Magazine on the INC list. We are number 8 on that. There's so many accolades, so know those. And right now, I think that it's really important that people know how many orders are being processed. And like I said, the customer service told me that one day there's 26,000 orders that were being processed with a 1% return rate. That's amazing. So if people know how much the company is growing and how phenomenal that growth is, it's not just them that are buying this product. There are so many other people that are doing it and that are reaching out and getting better because of these products. So knowing that is going to be really beneficial for you too. They want to know that it's not just you, it's not just 5 people that they see on Facebook, that it's thousands and thousands of people across the country that are benefiting from these. When people ask you questions that you don't know the answer to, it's okay. And I kind of felt like at the beginning that I needed to know everything, and people were asking me about It Works and different companies, and I didn't want to spend my time researching those companies. I wanted to research our own company. And so I did, and I found that when people ask me about that, it's better to say, I don't know a ton about that company, but I know our company, and I know that our company starts with gut health. We're not just putting a Band-Aid on your stomach to suck out something and making you look skinnier for a couple of days. We're fixing your gut, and we're making that leaky gut heal, and we're doing so many things internally, and that's going to help you in the long run. It's not a fad diet. It's not a quick fix. It's going to take you working a little bit at it, but I love our company so much that I haven't compared to other companies because I don't need to. And if they ask you questions that you don't know, be honest with them. Just say, I haven't run into that yet, but I know that there are a lot of people that maybe have. And I tell people on Facebook, I'm part of a group with 1,800 people that are in my team. And those 1,800 people I can type a question to, and they're going to answer me back because that's what Plexus is. Plexus is a team. Just because they're not in my immediate team, anybody is completely willing to help all of the time. So make sure that you're letting them know that it's not just you, that you have a huge network of people that are going to be willing to help them at any time. And that's what this company is really about. So don't let those questions dissuade you and make you feel, like you should have all of the answers, because we shouldn't have all the answers, and people know that. So make sure that when people ask you about that you're just honest with them. I think honesty is always the best policy. This is something that I think is really, really important. And I know that I've shared this before and I've told some of you, and I might sound like a broken record, but I think that it's really important. So I was watching a marketing video, and she also talks about it in her book with Sarah Robbins. She is one of the top people in the marketing industry. She works for a skincare company. She's not in our direct marketing company, but she's amazing. And one of her stories that she tells in that video was, when you go to a restaurant and the waitress comes around and she asks you, or he asks you, if you want another drink, and you say no, that waitress doesn't go back and start crying because you refuse the drink. What do they do? They go to the next table, because that's their job. That's what they're doing right now, is sharing that kind of a product. And we are doing the same thing. Just because you didn't want that drink doesn't mean that you might not want a drink in the future. And it certainly does not mean that you're telling that waitress that you don't want something from them. You're not rejecting the person. You just don't want that at that exact time. Our products are no different, everybody. Just because, if I think back in the beginning of my journey, the first time that they approached me about it, I didn't jump on board wholeheartedly. It took me a little bit. So just because somebody doesn't jump on with you the very first time you say it, that's fine. Still continue to build that relationship with them and still continue to help them grow. And maybe they'll come around to it. I've been doing this since August, like sharing about it. And in the last 6 to 8 months, I now have people saying, all right, Bree, I've been watching you. I think that it's time now. Maybe X, Y, and Z happened. Their kid got sick. They need the extra income. They need something now. And now they know where to follow through with. They know that they can come back to me and talk about it. So just because it didn't happen 6 months ago doesn't mean that it might not happen. And I've had people that have just flat out told me no. That's fine. Just because they're telling me no doesn't mean that I can't help somebody else or that it's not being amazing for me. Once you start getting those messages back from people and how much it's helping them and how much you sharing did that for them, it's a complete game changer, I promise you. And while sometimes it's hard to not take things personally, it's not personal just because they don't want it. And if it becomes personal, then that's something that they need to deal with. I've told quite a few people that my sister-in-law is a huge, huge workout person. Love her to death. She's my best friend. But when she was posting all of those things on Facebook, I didn't like to see it. It wasn't because I didn't like her working out. It was because I had my own issues with it. It was something that I needed to deal with internally. And I think that that's something that's really common with people. Just because they don't like what you are doing doesn't mean that they don't like you. It just means that they have their own issues that they need to work out. I've completely come around to that now that I'm feeling better. I love working out with her now, but it's something that I had to build up to and I had to get to. So don't take rejections personally. I know that it's hard. I know that it's something that we all, are personal beings and we have feelings. So it is hard to work through them. But don't take it as a personal rejection if they don't love Plexus the way you do. You love it now, but you are also on a journey to get there, and people need to get there too. So if you have those objections, take them in stride. If you need help, reach out to people, but don't back down from them. We all have things that we go through and we all have things that we need to get to, and this shield will help you get there if you fall back on it. Hope that this was a little bit helpful or a lot helpful, and if you have any questions, as always, make sure and let me know. Have a great day, guys.